Tanzania is regarded as an excellent safari destination, largely due to its many world-class opportunities for game spotting. Tanzania is home to many of the best and biggest parks in Africa, of course, and some of the most varied and unique landscapes that you will ever see, from grasslands to woodlands, rock formations, and mountain peaks. There's no question that Tanzania features some amazing opportunities for sightseeing and photo hunting alike. It's the Midday Show live on Echo Television International. As usual, we talk about different countries and tell you what to do and places you should explore. And today we'll be talking about Tanzania as always. And I think for now, I have Prudence in the studio with me. Hi, Prudence.
I think she decided that I have to be on this head because
Of
I
course.
said last time that I was going to be here, but no problem.
And you see that, and then you're here again. Of course, you're here because it's very good for you to have someone you do this with and you're excited doing it with, you know.
True.
And then I think I like the fact that I'm doing this with you, but I let your head not be big. Anyways, welcome to the show today. How you doing?
I'm fine.
You're looking like the classy lady.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, talking of which, Tanzania is actually a place for one to
It's a
visit.
classic place.
Oh. Okay, you actually brought the country. Like you said, we should talk about the country. So I don't know. Let me give you the honors.
Oh, wow. I suggested. I did not
But we
say
worked with it, so
but
then.
it works. It works, and I'm really glad that this is what we're doing today because, my goodness, all this while I've tried researching about different countries in Africa, and I never knew that Africa could be so beautiful. Now I get why people want to come to
You see
Africa.
that?
Africa is so beautiful, and Tanzania is not. And in fact, Tanzania could be described as one of the most beautiful places you can find in Africa. Tanzania is beautiful. It has a large expanse of land. It has the high points, the low points. You find one thing that I find very interesting. I know that we've not gotten to that point, but the one thing that Tanzania, the name Tanzania just goes with it. Everybody talks of when you say Tanzania, this is one of the first things that come to people's mind is the Mount Kilimanjaro.
Of course. I knew you were going to say that.
I was
of
going to
course.
say that. We will get to that. We'll talk more about that, but that's just one thing. And then Tanzania is known to have 3 of the largest lakes in Africa. 3. Wow.
3.
3. That's really wow.
Actually.
You would have the. I'm going to try as much as possible to do this. Okay, so let's start with the easy one. We have the Lake Victoria. So easy, right?
Okay.
Africa's largest lake is located in Tanzania. Then now we're going to start small of these languages that I find really hard. But then again, it's African, so I think we can pull it off. So let's do it.
Oh, pardon you.
Let's do it. Okay, so we also have the Lake Ganyaki.
Okay. Are you
Take
sure
that
that's
again.
it?
No,
Tanganyika.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Oh,
the
my
lake
goodness, I'm struggling.
Tanganyika, the continent's deepest lake, known for its unique species of fish.
I'm curious. I love different, like the sea life is really
true.
interesting for me. So I think I'm curious. That's one place I would like to visit.
I
When I
know,
go
of
to.
course. Why would you want to go to Tanzania? Of course, it's a place for
It's
you
a place to go to.
And to talk
It's
about
lovely.
the people alone, like they're
Yeah.
welcoming.
Yes.
And they always want to talk to tourists. Like when you find yourself there and you want to get directions, or maybe you just want to know how things have been done, they're willing to actually accept it. So they are friendly people, that's the word. They are friendly people, and they love to have peace. Like in as much as they love family, in as much as they love their space, but then when they have you as a visitor, maybe you're there for maybe one business or the other, maybe you're there for maybe just to have fun and the rest of it, they are always available to help you out in doing some certain things. And then so when you realize that you find yourself in Tanzania, then you know that you're going to do a whole lot of things. You will have the fun that you want to have. Of course, if I'm going to Tanzania for any reason, I should know that after doing business and after working, of course they say all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, of course. So then there are a lot of places for you to visit. They have a lot of amazing facts about Tanzania. They have tourist attractions, and their food as well is something to talk about. It's something to dive on, and
We
all
have
of
to
that.
talk about that.
No, but of course, you know that I can't talk about any country without talking about food.
We have to talk about food.
And their food is something to tell yourself that I need to eat this. Like most of their food, okay, during the research, I realized that they have interesting facts and they have a lot of things that even you can actually learn doing, maybe the food or maybe one business or the other. So it's interesting to know that when you find yourself in Tanzania, then you don't have a problem.
Yes. And before we get to the juicy facts about it, just so you know, when you enter Tanzania, as much as Tanzania is beautiful, captivating, the people in Tanzania loving, beautiful, you just want to take a picture. Stop. Don't do it. It's at your risk.
Actually,
The Tanzanians would prefer it if you ask them first before you go ahead to take a picture. And if you do, they don't mind that. Immediately you ask, you can take a picture.
For you to snap pictures without taking permission and all of that. Because I think they have sensitive things like parts in their country that they wouldn't want people to just see, or maybe they have. It all depends on what they want.
Yeah, some people just have a very funny, superstitious belief.
True, honestly, very funny.
But that's by the way. So it's just important that you ask the Tanzanian before you take a picture of him or her, and you also need to know that you should not use your left hand. I find that very funny.
Mind your left hand. You know, in some countries, you realize they don't even bother about which of the hands you're using to maybe collect something from somebody, or maybe a handshake and all of that. But they are very, like, they take it personal when you decide to be, okay, you want to give the left hand, or he's trying to pass something to you and then you want to collect it with the left hand. They say, mind your left hand. So then you need to be careful with some certain things. Actually, is it a superstitious belief, or maybe
it's just that they have attributed the left hand with using it for toilet use and all that. So they find it impolite if you do use your left hand. So you always have to use your right hand.
That's more like their tradition.
Yes, it's a culture.
Don't sniff their food.
You have to eat it.
Of course, if you're going to eat, okay, let's say for instance,
as small as possible.
You and I now find ourselves, and then we decide, okay, just eat this one, and you be like, okay, can I? No,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Like these are their traditions. These are things that they've actually been doing for years, like for eternity. And then so if you find yourself in Tanzania, just try your best. If you're eating any of their meals, don't just try to sniff it. Don't try it, because it's actually rude to them. It's bad to them. They feel offended. Yes. So don't do that.
It's actually an offense to the chef. First things first, because they respect their chefs. So you have one thing. If the chef tables food before you, you have to eat at least a little bit.
Actually. So when you're eating, you should just perceive it. Like you don't need to just be obvious about it.
Sometimes you just want to savour.
I know, but then they're saying you should not. So then why not just obey it? If you want to have fun, if you want to live in peace, avoid it. And they said actually you should avoid public display of affection. Like you go there with your lover, and then you end up holding hands or doing all sorts of things on the street and all of that. They tell you it is not allowed.
Yes, Tanzania is a lovely place for honeymoon.
Yeah, of course. Oh, thank you.
But when you get to Tanzania for your honeymoon, whatever affection, holding hands, hugging in public, all those things,
try to avoid
just keep them.
When you get back to your hotel room,
yes,
and then you can just do anything you want to do.
But immediately you're coming out, just make sure that the Tanzanians don't appreciate.
Why not just tell yourself that I can do this? So if you're going for your honeymoon and all of that, just try to avoid some certain things in order not to lead yourself into trouble. And also, they said you should respect your elders. Of course, it's another tradition, so you have to keep to it.
The Africans.
Of course, that's typical of the Africans, of course. Once you know that this person is older than you, just give it to him. Like the respect. Like most times, I always say respect is not going to kill you. Of course it won't. So if you see someone that is older than you, maybe the person is carrying something on the head, maybe he went to the market and is holding something, like, why not just try to extend that hand of help? Like, just show that respect. It doesn't take anything from you. Rather, you even get more blessings. So why not just do that to yourself, of course? And you should wear modest dressing.
Okay. So I was going to say this. If we go to Tanzania, I'll probably be... I'm quite decent,
Of course you are. You
yes,
don't have a problem.
but there's a small problem.
Okay.
My legs are out.
Yeah, true.
She's closed, so I'll probably be kicked out of Tanzania.
So I'll be there.
But that aside,
Yeah, actually.
that was just a side joke. The Tanzanians are just really keen on dressing.
True.
You have to cover as both male or and
female.
female. That's their culture. You have to cover, especially what's the name of that country? I mean the state. I'm trying to remember that in Tanzania. Zambezi, something like that.
Okay.
Yes, very nice place, lovely place. But when you get to that place, you have to cover yourself because of the culture of those people. And it's interesting that Tanzania has its name from two different countries that were merged. I find that a very interesting fact. Yes. Personally, I have to talk about that. Yes, I was right. The name is Zambezi. So it's one part of it is Zambezi and the other one is what I was struggling with earlier on to pronounce.
You have to.
But I'm going to do it now. It's Tanganyika. Thank you. Tanganyika. Yes, Tanganyika and Zambezi. So they had a merger and then the name Tanzania came about. It's so lovely. I love it.
Just find yourself in Tanzania, please, so we can just understand that this is it.
Really nice.
Yeah, actually, they value a lot of things in Tanzania, and their food, as I said earlier, you shouldn't sniff their food. They said the chef will actually feel offended that you're trying to sniff his food and all of that. So it's not allowed. So they have a lot of things. In case you want to find yourself in any country, why not do some research about some certain things that they want and they don't want, so you just avoid it. And so we've been talking about some other things about Tanzania. We're going to talk about the little things we know about education in Tanzania. Of course, education is a compulsory thing. In a lot of countries today, you realize that the government will want to sponsor some certain level of education, maybe from primary to secondary and all of that, for you to just have the basics and all of that. It's followed by both the public and private sectors. And then starting with pre-primary education, followed by primary, secondary, ordinary, and then secondary advanced, and ideally university level education, which is something that I know that a lot of us today feel it is important. It is very important to us today. So the people in Tanzania have taken this upon themselves, that they give out access and free education to people, and then they allow you to do it. It's more like a human right to the people in Tanzania to go to school and then learn a whole lot of things that they need to learn in order to earn a living and all of that. So Tanzanian government began to emphasize the importance of education shortly after their independence in 1961. Then they've shown that education is very important to them. So then it is very important for parents as well to know that education is key to any child. They said if you're leaving any child with any inheritance, it should be that is education, so that they know what to do with it later. So then they don't joke with their education in Tanzania.
And the country will not suffer, it will be built.
Of course, it will not suffer, it will be built and all of that. So then they set up standards for people in different classes and all of that. So you know this is what you're supposed to do. This is the level at which you need to take this very serious. So education is important to people in Tanzania.
I love this interesting fact about education in Tanzania. They're also inclusive about teaching children and adults as well with disabilities. That's one thing you rarely find.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's not everywhere that you find that education includes those who have certain disabilities. But this is really nice. I love that about them. They take it very importantly. It's really important. I love it.
Large populations of standard 7 students leave school and do not go further, and many others do not complete their primary education. But then the government are still talking to them. They're still trying to bring them back into it, because they just know that that is the right thing to do. And of course it is the right thing to do, because if you realize that you see other people in the streets doing menial jobs and all of that, it's allowed, because once you go to school and you're back, you rest, and then you go out to do one or two things, it's something that's going to help you tomorrow. So then they always try their best to do whole lot of things for students, for pupils, and then for them to understand that it is important to go to school and education is important. So then we have amazing facts about Tanzania.
A little bit of what I love. Yeah.
I know.
Yes, we're going to talk about a lot of nature, and nature
Yeah,
is
of
just
course.
beautiful. Who said this? Oh my God. ah, nature is just so beautiful,
True.
and that's what Tanzania represents.
True.
One amazing fact. I'm not sure if it was in my or what I just read passingly. It says that Tanzania has one of the most fertile lands
Fertile
in Africa. So agriculture is a key thing for the
So you see,
Tanzanians.
I think that's one of
it.
their I think the source of income.
Yes, that's
is
their
agriculture.
economy base. Yes. So Tanzanians, as we said, really lovely place, nature. So why would there not be national parks?
course.
Oh, they have to have a lot of national parks.
Of course, there are a lot of
A lot
it.
of national
It
parks.
boasts of some of the best national parks in the world. The Serenity National Park is one of the most famous and best loved parks, and is home to more than 1 million species of large animals. Wow. When you talk about nature, you talk about Tanzania. When you talk about a lot of things that they do and how they represent themselves, you talk about Tanzania. When you want Tanzania features the largest population of elephants. That's the big five. And then which
Yes.
can be found in the Solos Game Reserve. They have a whole lot of game reserves
They have game
and
reserves.
things that you should do. Another fact about it again, we have the Mount Kilimanjaro, which is
I've-
the
I said
tallest
it
mountain.
already.
Of course, you said it already.
I had to do that. The Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest in Africa, and I heard
Tallest mountain in Africa.
yes, and it's important. It's a beautiful place.
It's very beautiful.
I
very
read
beautiful.
somewhere that the Kilimanjaro has been talked about over centuries and centuries. In fact, we spoke about it having Tanzania having a lot of national parks. But one thing about Tanzania is that its nature dates millions of years back. It's just beautiful that millions of years could be this preserved. I'm in awe.
Of course, you're in all, but then the thing is, you can never run out of places to visit in Tanzania.
No.
You won't run out of it. No matter where you want to go to, what you want to do, you find yourself in Tanzania, you have to visit all these places because you have fun all the way. Another fact about Tanzania, the Great Migration sees over 2 million animals travel across the plains. Wow. The Great Wild Beast Migration sees over 1.5 million wild beasts as well as zebra and gazelle make their way through the grasslands of Tanzania and Kenya in search of pasture. So they have a lot of natural parks, things that you should do, things that you should not do, and places to visit and places you should not visit. They have a whole lot of facts about them. They have Prudence, they have the Ungorongo crater. It's one of the best places
She's struggling
to see.
as I am on this one.
To see the big five, of course. And then if you find yourself in Tanzania, you should not say you don't want to go to this place and all of that. Why not just try to experience one of the things? The big five, you have the buffalo, elephants, leopards, the rhino can also be seen here, in addition to the host of other well-loved African classics like the ostrich, zebra, cheetah, wild beast, gazelle, and even hippos. So of course you can see animals in different places. You can see things that you want, like anything you want to do. If you find yourself in Tanzania, if you love nature, then Tanzania is a place for you to visit.
Tanzania and wildlife are like synonymous.
True,
It's
true.
like anytime you talk about Tanzania, you have to talk about the wildlife. You have to talk about the different species. And as I said, millions of years of nature still preserved.
True.
And that's why you still find these animals in large quantities. And for a lack of better word to use, in large numbers. That's how the Tanzanians are keen about preserving their nature. And one interesting fact about it is that it has one of the functioning or active volcanoes in Africa. It's a beautiful place to visit. I read somewhere that the volcanoes are erupted in black instead of red because of the temperature to which it erupts. So it's an interesting fact. But that aside, let's not talk about hilly countries a lot. Let's also talk about the sea. We also have the lake Tanganyika. The Lake Tanganyika is the second largest lake in the world. Wow. But then again, it's a good source of fresh water for the people of Tanganyika especially. Then the other people around Tanzania, you have Burundi, you have Zambia, you have Congo. Those people are around that river, so that lake rather. So it's a good source of fresh water. It's just beautiful.
Tanzania is just beautiful. Like it's
we
natural,
keep saying it's
like,
just
all
beautiful.
of that. Of course, it is. It's something you should actually see. Another fact is that Tanzania is home to distinctive and delicious cuisine. Of course, we've said
And
it's
we're
like,
going to talk about it
of
in
course,
details.
we are going to talk about it in details. But then, if you're looking for a delicious meal, like even from looking at it alone, is just inviting us to talk of tasting it and then having it all to yourself. So then, is another fact. That's something that is important for you to know about Tanzania.
It is important for Linda.
Of course, you also have no problem finding fresh, locally grown produce such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, and coffee. Of course, they're all available. They have different kind of fruits that you can just have and just enjoy yourself and don't have an issue with it. And then
they love coconuts.
Of course, they do. They use it to cook as well. Yes, they use it to cook as well. And then they have the trees can easily live 1,000 years.
Yes, it's actually a specific tree.
Baobab.
Yes, the baobab trees.
Baobab trees.
I read about it while in school and all that. That is one tree that is awesome.
True.
It's beautiful.
Years. It's beautiful.
And weirdly beautiful.
Honestly.
It has a very weird shape.
Yeah, there's some species of the baobab can live 1,000 years or longer. Although the oldest one found in South Africa is believed to be an astonishing 6,000 years old. Wow, this is very interesting.
See,
6,000 years
I'm
old.
saying it has a very funny. I love the fact that the tree can stay that long.
Actually,
but for me, it's just interesting that it has this funny look. It's just a beautiful tree. It's a beautiful tree.
Yeah, actually, it's beautiful. And
yes,
then
and what I find creepy is a mountain. Why would a lion decide to climb a mountain? A tree.
Yeah, of course, it's actually very funny. But then, I think there's a place where we have it, and then.
But you know what I find more interesting about this is that
like,
they're
just sitting very comfortable
to watch them.
Like, of
I'm
course.
I'm not sure I'm going to visit that place.
Because you might be sitting under a tree and then the lion will just come down. Wow, like I just want to imagine that. It's like, there are things that you will see and then you get very scared. The reason that these lions have taken to climbing is unknown.
Yes.
So it's just you don't even know why they do that. But maybe they do that for fun. Maybe they just want to rest. Maybe they just want to leave the land for maybe a while and all of that. So whatever their reasons, though, watching these lions gingerly move across the branches is a sight that's worth seeing.
It is.
I don't think I want to
see it. But I'm not sure I want to see that.
I don't think I want to see that.
I think it's something I would be curious to see from afar, maybe a video.
Yeah, I think that's better.
But not up close. I'm not so sure I would like to watch that up close.
Yeah, and then the beaches of Zanzibar are stunning.
Zanzibar is a beautiful state. It's a beautiful place to visit, and their beaches are awesome. Goodness, just great, just so lovely. My goodness, I can't shout, so let's not talk about it.
Okay.
but let's still talk about it. It's just so beautiful.
It's very beautiful. I said the not one of the first things that you think of when you imagine an African safari. A trip to the beautiful island of Zanzibar is the perfect way to round off a safari.
Yeah, because it's rare to actually find places like that in Africa. Most of Africa is land. So you rarely find places that are surrounded totally by water, having these beautiful beaches that you can just visit and just cruise, and it's just lovely. You're just enjoying nature and appreciating nature. That's one thing I want to do.
It's very beautiful. Like,
it's the
yourself in this
for
place.
me.
Do you understand?
The colors
just find yourself
beautiful.
in this place and you realize you just don't want to think of any other thing than be smiling and all of that. Like
I'm going to take photography lessons before I
Wow,
get to
before you get to
Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yes,
Okay.
I have to take this moment. I would have to capture everything that I can get. It's
Okay,
just so beautiful.
that's for facts about Tanzania, and then we have their tourist attractions.
We've touched some of them, but we're talking about them in detail. So
Of course.
enjoy it. Enjoy this ride with us.
Yeah, of course. It's very interesting to know that you're talking about a particular country and then you realize they have beautiful places for you to visit, beautiful things for you to do. We're talking about nature here. So if you love nature, then Tanzania is a place for you to visit. And then which so much Tanzanians have to offer to you as tourist attractions. You visit some of the places and you understand that these are places for you to go and explore. We have the Meba Island. And it's located in the Zanzibar, and then Mambeba Island is just a 90-minute drive from the Stola town. Wow. Okay. And then this is one of the best places to visit in Tanzania for a luxury retreat.
Okay.
Oh, I think I
Okay,
want
so
to visit this
as much as
place.
I love it, let me see what I'm going to go and do there. I'll try fishing, probably.
Okay.
Bird watching, yes. Swimming,
Mm,
okay.
No, please, that's a capital no.
And then the scuba diving, no, I'm not
Honestly,
going to
no
take
way,
those.
no way.
No, I'm not doing that. But the Nemba Island is somewhere that
Of
you would
course,
want to visit. It's
a
beautiful.
beautiful
You can
place.
just relax. There are lots of other water sports there too. So it's one place if you love water
If
and
you
you
love
love the
water,
beaches.
actually, like
Just visit
that,
that.
the beauty alone is something for you to just tell yourself, I need to be here. But then there are things you should do beside it and you shouldn't. Because even if you tell yourself you can swim this well, you should be careful, of course.
Yeah.
Like, you can just find yourself,
Yes.
just have your fun, and then you should be careful with a lot of
You have
things
to
you're
be
trying to
careful.
do, of course. And then he said the location is in Zanzibar, in Tanzania, and the most experience is swimming, snorkeling, scuba diving, bird watching, and fishing. Of course, you'll be fishing and all of that. I think I just want to sit down and watching people swim
I
and
know.
then
I
come
want
back
to.
and
I said I would try fishing.
Okay.
I didn't say I would be. I said
Okay.
I'll be trying. It.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And we've been talking about Mount Kilimanjaro. For those of us that love hiking, that's one
This
place
is
to try and
one
trek.
place.
Yes.
So if you're going to Tanzania, just get your hiking kits ready.
Yes. And you know, one interesting thing about the Mount Kilimanjaro is that it has different layers, like 3 layers of volcano eruption that people find it's the only mountain that has had something like that. It's just a beautiful place to visit. You want to go and see it. You want to understand why things like this just
Like, it's
decided
just
to
a unique place for you to go.
to happen. And you would also want to you would also want to visit that because there's a national park. Is there a place where they don't have a national park?
No, I don't think.
I think they
it's-
have national
yeah.
park in like almost everywhere.
True.
That's one
Of course,
thing
but
that boosts the
It's
Tanzanians.
very important.
Yes, they're very keen about people coming over to visit their country and see the beauty that is in their country. As much as they're trying to preserve the nature, they're doing their best
Their
rather
best,
to
actually.
preserve nature in that community. It's beautiful, and it's also located in Zanzibar.
Zanzibar is just taking most
interesting.
of the beautiful places and all.
Yes, yes.
And then you can actually trek there. You can hike and you can camp. I think I
It's
want
the
to camp
camping
there.
for
Yeah,
me.
true, because I think
I just can't believe how beautiful the place is. So I would
Yeah, I
want
just
to
want
go
to
camp.
imagine,
I want to
true.
see how the place will look at nighttime. How is this nature going to look so lovely in the night? You know,
Yeah.
different creatures passing. You know, some of them having their own personal lights and lighting up the place.
I just want to imagine how beautiful
and the creepy
that's going to-
eyes from the
True,
birds,
true.
because you
Oh,
know
God.
you have
Like
a lot
I'm
of
just,
variety of birds.
like I'm just having a lot of thoughts in my head already.
Okay, let
And
me-
the best time to climb Kilimanjaro is now, from January.
yeah,
of course,
now.
January to
Are
March.
we
So
talking
it's
about it
now,
the
of
right
course.
time?
So you see, and then June to October as
Yes,
well. So then, if you think you want to go to Tanzania for any reason, I think you should find yourself like right
And
now.
if you want to visit Kilimanjaro, if you're
Yeah,
not able to
actually.
make it
Then you
from
can
now
actually
to
wait
March, you can wait to
June
June.
to October, of course, and then you can
and
still
do that,
climb
yes.
and have fun, of course. Prudence.
She wants to do something to me.
Yeah, but you know already.
She wants to do something to me, but I'll go ahead and try my luck. Okay, so let me try. although you although you know I don't know what I'm speaking, whether it's Yoruba
Please, we're
or
not
what.
Tanzanians, so please you pardon us. Of course, we have the Aldo in Yolenge. Of course, it's known as the Mountain of God.
Could we have just said Mountain of
Mountain of
God and
God
not struggle
instead.
to fumble on this?
Of course, it's an active volcano. The Gregory Rift is the region of Arusha.
Yes.
And then it's known for its unique lava eruption. It's one of the top places to visit in Tanzania. And
That's the place I was talking about when I said it has an active
Oh,
volcano
okay.
that erupts in black instead of red.
yeah,
The
true.
lava erupts in black instead of red, and it's beautiful. Said why it is unique is that it also has nutrients that are really good for the land. So the land around this mountain of God is really fertile. It's very fertile, in fact, very fertile, more fertile than you can imagine, actually.
Yeah. And then we have the Lake Tanganyika.
Yes.
The Lake Tanganyika is
I will let her
looking
do
for.
that.
Wow, you let me do this, right?
I'm not
Of
going
course.
to do that.
They said it's the second oldest freshwater lake in the world. Like the second oldest freshwater in the world. And then it's the longest freshwater lake in the world as well. And it forms the border between Tanzania and Congo. It is so vast that it flows through 4 different countries, namely Tanzania, Congo, Zambia, and Burundi. Wow. Looking for
wow.
solitude during your vacation in Tanzania, I heard one of the most serene Tanzania points of interest. This place is one of the places you should find yourself to visit.
It's
or
serene.
rather, do you understand? Like,
It's
just see the peace that, oh,
How
Lord.
nature comes with peace. I can already imagine it. Oh, just
So
look at the sun
beautiful,
setting.
like it's something
It's
else.
just so
Like it's so
beautiful.
beautiful. So then you have a lot of activities to do, and then we're still talking about the tourist attractions
Yes,
in
and we have the-
Tanzania.
yeah, we
But
have
before we continue, I think we need to take a time out.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
I
we'll
did
be
not know
taking
that we had gone this far.
we'll be taking a time out, and when we're back, we'll tell you more about places to visit in Tanzania, and of course their food.
We'll
Please
not
stay
forget.
with us. We won't forget that. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's the Midday Show live on Echo Television, and we've been talking about Tanzania, facts about Tanzania, things to do in Tanzania, places to visit in Tanzania. We are back again to continue with some beautiful tourist attractions in Tanzania. You will not be left out. I still have Prudence in the studio with me. Welcome back, Prudence.
Thank you.
It's
And
the
I'm
excitement for
already-
me.
I'm enjoying myself on this set. It's just beautiful.
I am too,
I
actually.
just wish that I was in for one, the Arusha
Right.
city.
Of course, the Arusha City.
Yeah, I just wish I was there right now to enjoy some beauties. You can actually spot the Mount Kilimanjaro
course,
all the way
from there.
from the Arusha city, and it has a soothing. Okay, I'm curious if it has a soothing temperature climate. What kind of climate would that be? Would it be
Sure.
warm or cold or hot?
Anyways, that's left for everybody to
I'm going to go
imagine.
and find that. I
Of
would
course.
find that out.
And then it's one of the best places for you to visit in Tanzania.
I said almost every place in Tanzania has
The
a national
Arusha
park.
City, of course. Every place in Tanzania have national
So you have to
park.
visit the
Yeah, of
national
course.
park
So you
in
have to
Arusha.
visit, of course,
Yes.
because they said it's one of the best places for you to visit. So then, if you find yourself in Tanzania, just make sure you visit all these places. If not all completely, but at
Visit what you
least
can.
visit what you can, and if time allows, or
Don't stay
if-
indoors.
Of course, don't. True. Don't stay indoors because you just end up staying, and then please, I hate boredom in my life. So why should I travel to such a beautiful country and then I don't explore a lot of things? Like, that's going to be an insult on my part, though. And
There's
then-
one place I'll visit before we go to the next one.
Okay, which is
I have to talk about the National History Museum. I want to go and see it. Yes, I'm curious. What is the history of the
About?
Tanzanians? Yes, I read a little bit of the history of Tanzanians, and it's interesting. It seems really nice. as I mentioned earlier, the merger between the two states, and it's somewhere that I would want to. I'm interested in their history.
Of course, I know you. Like anything about you is just like about history. So then I don't know. Are you ancient of this?
Oh shit! My goodness.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, of course. So Arusha City is one of the best places for you to visit.
Yeah.
Please try to visit this city and explore a lot of things. We have another place. We have the Ngorongo Conversation Area.
No, I got that. I got that.
Yeah, of course. The Ngorongoro Conversation Area is known for its big 5 game that I said earlier, which is the rhinos, we have lion, leopard, elephants, and the Cape buffalo. Ngorongoro Conversation Area is also one of the most famous Tanzanian tourist places. Another place that you should find yourself again, if you want to add a dash of adventure to your trip in Tanzania, then visit this place to witness the volcanic Ngorongo crater and an extensive migration of wild beasts and zebras.
Exactly.
So then is another place for you to go, and then some experiences, some things you should do again: the safari, climbing, hiking, camping, and wildlife. Of course, camping and wildlife is one. Hiking as well is something you should do in Ngorongoro Conversation Area. But then the big 5, the game of the big 5 is there. Then you should find yourself there just to enjoy yourself, just to understand how things happen and the things you see, to know, okay, this is how it is, this is how it's been done, and all of that. So find yourself in Tanzania to explore a lot of things. If, like, I am an adventurous person, I love adventure, like...
She's not lying.
So,
she's not lying.
So when I find myself in Tanzania, I know I have a lot of things to do, and I'm not going to have any dull moments, not for any reason.
No, I'm still keen about these historical places.
Prudence, can you just let us rest with historical things?
I have to visit the old forts of Zanzibar. I want to visit that. I think that should be in my bucket list.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to revisit my bucket list over again.
Okay, noted.
So that I will visit that.
Noted, ma'am.
I said it has the remains of some of the historical facts of Tanzania. It's the old fort of Zanzibar is a historical fort for Tanzanians. You have the history of Tanzanians. You have the whole whatever happened during the Portuguese attack. You would get the history, the story of that there. You would get it. It's so popular. It's so beautiful, and sad.
Beautiful and sad. Okay, we have the
ironies, but
actually true though. There's the Olduvai Gorge. Wow, I hope I said it correctly.
I'm trying to get whether it's Olduvai.
Oh, is that supposed to be in please put this. No, that's
I'm wondering if it is actually Olduvai or Olduva.
Olduvai Gorge, and then it's one of the most popular Tanzanian destinations because of its historical and biological importance. It's history again, man. And located in the eastern part.
It's the fossil deposit for me. It's so crazy.
And then it's important, of course, for you to visit that place to get to know about a lot of things. And then that has proven an invaluable source of information to the biologists in the field of human evolution during the past 2 million years.
Yeah.
Wow.
See what I was talking about? Tanzania has preserved its nature for over 2 million years.
Sure.
We need to applaud those.
Honestly, give it to the Tanzanians.
Yeah,
give it to them. Give it to them. Give it to the Tanzanians. Yes, of course. So if you find yourself in Tanzania, you should make sure you visit 1, 2, 3, 4, even 10 places just to know what has been happening, what they've been doing, and all of that. We have the Selos Game Reserve, and is regarded as one of the largest fauna reserves in the whole world. And then it's actually a place, it is among the top Tanzanian attractions that one must visit. When you say must, it means you have to visit it. And then sprawling over an area of 5,000 square kilometers, this wildlife area boasts of over 350 species of birds and reptiles, more than 2,000 species of plants, and an extensive wildlife which are a treat to watch. This place is also well equipped with furnished lodges for tourists to spend a night amidst the wilderness of the reserve. I want to experience this. I want to go to this place. I want to just go. The camping part is what is interesting for me, because if you find yourself in this place, you know that you're going to have fun. You know you're going to have an experience of how the place is, maybe in the evening, in the afternoon, in the morning. And said it's permitted for you to spend the night there. So they have places that is being reserved for people to actually spend the night due to maybe, let's say, your time was fast spent and all of that. So you just need to do all you need to do. And then we have the old fort of Zanzibar. The old fort of Zanzibar. And they said it's located in the stone town of Zanzibar. The old fort is a historical heritage of Tanzania. And as the name suggests, this fort is the oldest building of the town, which was built by Omanis to restrain a Portuguese attack. Oh, okay. It's one of the best places to visit in Tanzania, which reflects the rich history of the town, and is also a popular place for souvenir shopping. I need to go to this place, Prudence.
I told you.
I
already said it. Why would you do that? Like, why would you be reiterating what I said?
I'm sorry, but then I just need to say this because
I'm going there before you, because it's my place. It's my
why
zone.
are you like this?
It's
Why?
my
Because
territory.
that's to do with history.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
it's my territory.
And of course, shopping for souvenirs, of course, because
That's
when
why
you travel,
she's going there.
of course, you need to travel and come back with some things to give other people out there. Of course, so they have places for it, and they always say it's one of the best places for you to visit. Like, is there anywhere in Tanzania that's not the best place for you to visit?
They would,
Or
they okay, right now I'm speechless.
I'm sorry, Prudence.
But Tanzania is so lovely that there is no place that you would visit in Tanzania that you would not want to. Like, there's no place that you will visit that you would not want to revisit.
Visit again.
Yes, Tanzania is so beautiful like that. It's just so, it has a lot of places, and when you are around Zanzibar, or rather, when you're leaving Zanzibar, before you get out of Tanzania, just make sure that you go to the National Museum.
No, of course.
I'm just saying.
Of course, no.
You have to
but
visit the National Museum.
You have to. Like, you don't even have a choice. Like, you have to. Another important part of Tanzanian tourism is the National Museum. So then, because you find which takes you through the elaborate history of the country. Of course, it's history again. So a whole lot of things that you see, even the ones that you've never seen before, once you find yourself in the National Museum, of course, you get to see them. And then you get to know, okay, this thing has been here for this number of years, or all of that. And then a tour through the museum will take you past the historical colonial era, slave trading history, famous fossils discoveries of Olduvai Gorge, the Pepi culture of Tanzania, and lifestyle of the locals. So of course, if you want to have an experience of all these things, you should find yourself in Tanzania and visit the National Museum just to have everything. You're not going to regret it.
Yeah.
Because it's more like another thing that is going to educate you again. So you know some certain things about Tanzanians, you know the things that they've experienced before, and maybe some certain animals that no longer exist and all of that. You just have to see some certain things, and it's going to help you, of course. Prudence,
then the national we keep talking about
National Park.
Yes,
of course,
and
it's Tanzania.
We've talked about the Tarangire, but we've not talked about the national park.
Yeah, of
so
course
that's one place you should visit as well.
Of course.
It is one of the top places to visit, and then you can encounter African variant of animals. Elephants, lions, zebras, and the list can go on and on and on and on and on. But that's one place to visit, to see more wildlife, because that's what Tanzania is characterized with. And for a little 1 or 2 shopping, just go to the
Quality Center Mall.
Yes, you have to go to the center mall to treat yourself.
And it runs for 24 hours.
I'm confused as to why it does. We need to rest. Sometimes we just want to sleep.
No, of course, it depends on when
you
you're
decide
going
to go to the market in
Of
the
course.
night.
It's just, you know, some people can actually go to work and then come back in the evening, or maybe you can go for sightseeing, or maybe you're there for a business and then you have to take the whole time, maybe let's say the day for maybe the meetings and all of that. And it's only in the night you have to rest, and you still need it. Maybe you can take out 2-3 hours to just go shopping, since it runs for 24 hours.
As much as what she's saying sounds enticing and really nice, I would still opt
Prudence,
for.
you love sleep. I'm
Yes,
sure you just
I
want to
would
sleep.
still
I know.
opt to sleep.
Of course, I'm aware of that.
myself a
But
favor.
treat yourself to a heart-filling shopping experience as you walk past the shopping haven, which boasts of numerous retail outlets of international standards, restaurants, please, and theaters for family entertainment as well.
Did you see how she emphasized that? Okay. I'm just
food.
calling your attention in case you did not hear it. She
Yes,
emphasized
on
it.
restaurants.
Yeah, restaurant. So
Please, it's food. You cannot just walk, and you will not eat. You need the strength.
okay. More national parks. We're talking about the Serengeti.
Serengeti. Oh, really?
Mm.
Okay, nice.
It's actually in the northern part of the country, and it is a major part. So as much as we've been talking about how all these national parks are major parts of the tourists, the fact that they emphasize that this one is a major part is really keen, because, and it's also popular with UNESCO. UNESCO has appreciated that site as a World Heritage Site. Why? Because it has it's said that the creatures here have been maintained for over 2 million. Is it 2 million or 1 million years?
2 million.
2 million years. Yes. Let me get my facts right.
Yeah.
So that I'm not going to give you the wrong thing. So the flora and fauna of this place is still epic. It's still the same for years. It's just still lovely. Like, I'm beginning to wonder if it's in a movie or it's actually real.
Of course, it's real. It's not a movie, please. We have the Pemba level, the Pemba Island, the board of the wildlife safaris and historical tours. Spend the day amidst the ultramarine sea waters and lush greenery of the Pemba Island. So this is another place for you to just find yourself again. And said the weather is just so sweet, and then it's one of the top places to visit in Tanzania. They always have something, either one of the top places or the best places to visit, or one of the important things to do.
I think that the whole of Tanzania is one of the best
places to visit. Honestly, because all the places they'll tell you is either is very important for you to visit, or maybe it's one of the best places for you to visit, or they just have something interesting about it.
You won't actually run out of places to visit.
Of course, you will run out of places to visit in Tanzania.
As much as you will run out of food to eat in Tanzania.
Of course, we've talked about a whole lot of things about Tanzania. And then, back to my favorite part.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, Prudence, I'm sorry, but
it's the excitement for me.
You know, like, I was just waiting to talk about food. Like, it's just something else. Like, when you're talking about a different country, and then you just realize you just land on where there's food, then you remember you're supposed to eat.
So that's the point.
Yes.
Right now. You just remember you want
I'm
to
supposed
eat.
to eat, yes, of course.
All right.
Like, I'm not trained. The person actually telling us about this, he's not really a trained chef, but then his experience in the village and the experience he has had with grandparents in Tanzania and all has given him a whole lot of things to do with food and how to prepare them and how to go about it, and in fact, how to even eat them. So you see, when you talk about food, when you talk about...
I'm pretty sure she has already started washing her hands, which is one culture of the Tanzanians. You have to wash your hands to eat. So.
True. That's very important. So then we have the ugali. That's the first meal you should actually try to taste, to have an experience.
I keep thinking that it's a porridge.
Yes, it is. That this is the most commonly eaten food in Tanzania. The ugali is a Tanzanian national dish and something that the average person eats about 4 times a week. So you won't even get tired of eating it. It's an affordable dish that can be found on the menu of every local restaurant. And then in schools, particularly in public schools, it's eaten mostly every day of the week with beans, vegetables, soup, daga, and other types of fish. And the ugali is considered a high-energy food and is consumed by many people who do labor-intensive work like farming, construction, farming, and factory work. Even office workers eat it too.
I'm not sure I heard anything after fish. Yes.
Of course.
I had to take a pause. Different types of other types. Okay.
God, Prudence.
All right. I'm already picturing it. But let's go ahead to talk about what it is. What is made of? It's commonly made of maize and cassava, or cassava, or rather, mixture of
Mixture,
both.
yeah.
Yes,
With
maize,
millet.
cassava, sorghum, or millet, and then you have. Most times they actually want to mix it.
Yeah,
like
true.
two
You can mix it,
grains,
it's
not
allowed.
just one.
Yeah, it's
so
allowed.
that you would have a better result, like nutritionally, a better result nutritionally, and then and oh, okay, all right. Let me not talk too much about that meal. Let's skip to the next one.
Wali wanazi. Wali wanazi. Rice is a staple dish in Tanzania.
Okay, let's skip that.
And one of the most delicious iterations is wali wanazi. And then it refers to a fragrant rice dish cooked in coconut milk. We said something about coconut earlier,
Yeah,
right?
I
And water, and season it simply with salt. In a sense, you can think of it as the Eastern African version of Malaysian nasi lemak. There's another meal in Tanzania in which you should have a taste of it. It's served as an accompaniment to various curries and stews, and is equally popular in the cuisines of neighboring countries like Kenya and Uganda.
Yes, you'd actually find that a lot of their cultures are intertwined. So we also have the Wali Maharaj. Wait, take that again. Wali na Maharaj. Yes, the Wali na Maharaj is still rice, but this time around with beans. Yeah, and I find it okay. It's like Africans really love rice and beans.
Rice and beans, of course. That's typical of an African man.
Typical African man thing. And this time around, they use this for almost every holiday.
Yeah.
Almost every holiday, for their events, weddings. You would find this dish in weddings. You would have it in religious festivals. I think religious festivals would be like Christmas, the whole Easter and all that. Then you would also have it at funerals. Wow.
Really?
I find it weird.
Actually, because the way it's being served, like you have the rice in a separate bowl and then the beans in a separate bowl as well, and how it's being served, you have to eat it with a spoon, of course, not with your hand.
Yeah, and sometimes you do it together.
Okay.
Yes, so it could be either ways. It could be separate or together.
And then we have the Sukuma Wiki. Sukuma Wiki. One dish that is often paired with ugali is Sukuma Wiki. Of course, that was the first one we talked about, which is the ugali. And I said one dish again that can be paired with this Sukuma Wiki is the ugali. So it refers to a particular East African dish which is made with sukuma. Sukuma is Swahili and a type of leafy vegetable similar to kale.
Yeah.
In fact, the name Sukuma Wiki literally translates to push the weak or stretch the weak. In reference to its affordability.
I think
and
it's
availability.
because this is one place that wants to live a life that is not expensive. So for them, this is one meal that you can just at the snap of a finger, you could just cook it up and dish it out because they are nature.
Yeah.
Based and all that. So then we also have the IVO. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to see whether it is actually IVO or IRIO. But let's go with IRIO.
I think so.
Okay, so it's a dish for the native Kikuyu
tribe.
Kikuyu.
Kikuyu
I don't know why I
tribe
keep saying an I at the end of the
Tanzania.
U. Okay, so
You see?
and then some parts of central Kenya as well. And this is a healthy food. And funny enough, or interestingly enough, that the word just means food in their language. So food is just food.
So just say that I want
food.
I want
So you're literally just like, I want food.
Yeah, true.
So food is just food. And it's potatoes, corn, and peas, and grains, and the likes of it that makes this dish. And I promise you it's going to be a nice one. I've not tasted it, but I've already imagined it.
You've already imagined it. We have the indizi. I think I have to skip that. The indizi literally means banana in Swahili. So then why not just say banana, please?
No, they're saying it banana doesn't really mean that it's banana. It's actually plantain. More like that.
Yeah, more like plantain
Yes.
actually. And it's also popular among the Wasukuma, Wahaya, and Wakuria tribes of the Lake Zone regions.
Yeah,
The
but
reason
it's
for-
mostly popular with the Chaga tribe.
Yes, actually. And ndizi is a versatile ingredient that can be used to make many Tanzanian dishes. One of the most delicious is supu ya ndizi, a Tanzanian soup made with mashed green plantains and chicken stock. I think I'd like to have this
I'm
because
curious.
it looks very delicious and
I think I've tried
who
it.
wouldn't want
before.
to try this?
I feel like I've tried it, but not in their own way. So I'm going to try
Okay.
it the way the Tanzanians do it. Then
Zanzibar
Zanzibar
pizza.
pizza. I'm not so sure we should call it pizza.
Pizza
Should
actually,
we?
but they said
But
it's
they
a
said it's
Zanzibar
pizza,
pizza,
so
so then it's
Let's go
theirs.
ahead. And it says this is pizza. Pizza. It has cheese, yes. It has onions, garlic, beef, flour, salt, cooking oil, all that. And basically it looks like a pizza.
Of course, that's what they said. That was why I said we should just call it pizza
But
because
the toppings are just so different. It's just like a different. It's like pizza, but in a Tanzanian way.
okay.
Yeah, it's just delicious. It could look like bread.
Okay, yeah, of course. And I think the last meal we should talk about is the kuku paka.
Okay, she had to talk about this because it means chicken.
Please, what else can I do in this life without chicken? Prudence, what's your problem with me? Okay, of course, the kukuka paka is actually, it means chicken, of course. So then, it's actually, you can use it for your sauce, you can use it for maybe your stew and any other thing you want to eat with it. Even, they said you can actually, sometimes eggs and potatoes are added as well. So this is another meal that the Tanzanians also value and you can eat it at any time. You don't need to think of anything like, because I just feel like having this right now. But then, I think we have come to the end.
Because if you
of
leave
the
us, we can just continue going
Of
on
course, we'll
and
keep
on.
telling you things about
There's more.
Tanzania, their
Yes.
food, places to visit, and all of that. But then, I think we'll have to go now for this. Thanks for doing this for me.
I'm not so happy I'm leaving. But I'm happy.
Sorry. Of course, you
I'm
just have
happy
to.
to have done this show.
Of course, yeah, sure thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. We had fun talking about Tanzania. I hope you did as well. Please do have yourself the best of the day. Bye.